morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 944. Happy Monday. It's a back to reality. Not really. Not for me. Every day's reality. Ship and list and ship. It's overcast. Biscuit, we woke up this morning. Sometimes Biscuit likes to sleep in. And sometimes she likes to just hang out in bed, and she'll get down when I finish my show. I thought she was going to get up with me. Looked like she was going to jump out of bed. And I came down, took a shower, went back to get my coffee, and there she is, just late. I think she looked out the window and looks like it's going to rain. I'm going to stay in bed this morning. Good for her. Good for her. But we're at it. It's a Monday. Looks like it's going to rain. I think we need rain. Now, I don't really know if we need rain or not because we got some rain while I was at the National last week. The grass looks green. I don't think it's rained since I got home Sunday. So it's been a week, 8 days without rain. Things look green still. It's not brown. So maybe we don't need rain. I could use a day of rain just because when it's not raining, it's like, I should be outside doing something. And I'm not. I'm in my basement looking at baseball cards. Today, I want to talk about my little secret to getting more sales on eBay. The funny thing is, spoiler alert, it's not a secret. It's not a secret. But I think we all need a dose of reality, a reality check at times, myself included, more times than most, I would say. Dave Ramsey. This is like the Dave Ramsey. Like Dave Ramsey is a genius, financial genius, but what he teaches you is basically common sense. And that's what I'm going to talk about today with capturing more eBay sales. It's no secret. It's just common sense. But I think sometimes we want to find excuses. My eBay sales are down. It's got to be eBay, the algorithm, which in some cases, as we saw 2-3 weeks ago, it certainly was the algorithm. It certainly was the algorithm. Now, for me, my sales could have been higher during that time period, but I had a lot of distractions. So, partially it was on me. But a big reason was the eBay back end was really messed up. And they've actually come out and admitted, we were tinkering with some stuff, and it probably resulted in lower impressions, lower views, which equal lower sales. So I want to talk about that today. My secret, it's not a secret, it's common sense. But if I say common sense, people aren't going to watch. We want people to click. We need clickbait. The secret to more sales. The secret to more sales. Let's check out the chat. What's up? Let's get a banner rolling. Speaking of eBay, on the ticker is my eBay store. You can access it by typing in 99centcards.com. You can click on the link in the description to this video. Max likes secrets. We're not going to share any secrets today, though. That's just a clickbaity title. We're going to share some common sense tips on how to get more sales on eBay. The secret's out. The secret. Talking Tatis, good morning. Heading for Padres Mariners 2-game series, Tuesday, Wednesday. Awesome. I have not been to a big league game this year. I was actually texting my buddy Neil yesterday, also a big Cubs fan. We were regaling in a big Cubs series victory over the Atlanta Braves this weekend. The Cubs, by the way, if you recall, back before the season began, on this very show, I predicted the Cubs would win 84 games this year, which would be enough for, and I think I said the second wild card because I forgot there's actually 3 wild cards now. We're going to give myself the benefit of the doubt. And that would be enough to get a playoff spot. Playoffs! The Cubs win yesterday. Puts them at a pace to win with 50 games left in the season. 83.9 wins on the season. That's the pace for the Cubs. It's actually, if you dive into statistics, it's probably likely higher than that number because of, all of the math going on. They're much better now than they were in May, right? So, but their current pace, their current winning percentage multiplied by 162 would equal 83.9. They are in a spot right now. If the playoffs began today, the Cubs would be the 3rd wild card. Yay, Cubs! But I haven't been to a game. I'm like, damn, I need to get to a game. I'm going to Club 400. Boom. I'm going to Club 400 in, I think, 2 weeks. The guest World Series Cubs manager, Joe Madden, will be at Club 400 in 2 weeks. So I'm going to go see Joe. Bobby Dernier is going to be there. Jody Davis is going to be there. Ray Burris is going to be there. And probably other former Cubs. So going to be a good time. Club 400 in a couple weeks. Harlan's in the house. Good morning, Harlan. Good morning to you. David in the house. What's up? I got to meet David at the National. David, his brother Kurt, who I was mind blown. So Kurt and I have done trades in the past, and Kurt sent me a bunch of Cubs. And at one point, I think he messaged me on Twitter. He's like, yeah, we were talking. This was like last summer. He's like, yeah, we were talking. And he's like, I'm doing trades with this guy who's collected 1 million Cubs. He's like, oh, I know him. He's like, how do you know him? He's like, I watch him on YouTube. What? Now, I remember Kurt relaying this story to me about a year ago on Twitter. And then all of a sudden, it dawned on me, meeting them in person on the show floor at the National last week. It's like, this is my brother David. David? Oh my God. And I think I literally did that when I met them. It all made sense. It was awesome to meet Kurt, David. They were also at Shoeless Joe's on Saturday night. So thank you for coming out. Robert's in the house from Arkansas. Good morning. Victor is here. It's a rainy day in Chicago. It looks rainy here. It's not raining, but it looks like, I think that's why Biscuit stayed in bed. She's like, screw it, I'm not going outside. It looks like it's going to rain. It's cloudy. It's overcast. I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie. Kind of like this cloudy, overcast day. I need it. It'll inspire me to just stay in my basement. Get some work, get more work done. Joe's in the house. What's up, Joe? Good morning to you. We've got Donald in the house. Happy Monday. Trent is with us. What's up, Trent? Good morning. Paul Heath is here. What's happening? Tracy in the house. Good morning. Donald said it rained all weekend in Astoria. Astoria, Illinois. Home of the, they used to be the Pirates. The Astoria Pirates. Now they're the South Fulton Rebels. The South Fulton Rebels. One of my, and it probably wouldn't fly today, but it flew in the 60s and 70s, was in, what county is that? It's not Hancock. What's that little county called? Anyway, over by Monmouth, west of Monmouth, between Monmouth and Iowa, Burlington, it's basically a small little county. There's a bunch of small towns, and they all consolidated. But the southern teams consolidated. Like South Fulton is South Fulton County, and then there's a North Fulton County. They're not high schools, though, and a lot of people get that mixed up. South Fulton is not a high school. There's 2 high schools. Astoria still has a high school, and VIT still has a high school. VIT stands for Vermont, Ipava, and where we went to get our beer on Sundays because McDonough County was dry in my day, Table Grove. Biggsville had a high school. This is in a different county. Biggsville had a school called Union. And then in Stronghurst, it was Southern. Guess what their mascots were? The Rebels and the Yankees, because they were North and South. Wouldn't play today. In fact, I know. They now have consolidated. Now there's just one school, and it's West Central. And I remember when they were, because I was working in radio covering high school athletics, it's like every team that consolidated or co-opted in sports, they became like the Titans. That was like the buzz mascot in the early 2000s, the Titans. And then it was always directional. We're going to create a new high school, but we don't want to piss off this contingent of people. We don't want to so we're going to do all new colors because we don't want to hurt feelings. And then we're just going to call it West Central. And that's what they did. Biggsville Union, Stronghurst Southern, they became West Central High School. It's like West Central where? They did come up with a cool nickname, though. The mascot, the Heat, the West Central Heat. So it's kind of cool. I actually pitched when I worked in radio. We had a good relationship with Farm King. Headquarters was in Macomb, and they were big sponsors of the radio station when I worked there. And Rick, his family owned Farm King, great guy. So I was talking to one of the athletic directors at a local school, and he had talked about I think it was when they were going to co-op with they'd already co-opted with Avon. What the hell were they doing? Oh, it might have been their co-op. They were going to co-op with West Prairie, it's crazy in these small rural towns. Like West Prairie consisted of like 7 small towns, okay? And then Bushnell, Prairie City. And so he goes, the Pioneer plant is right between West Prairie High School and Bushnell, Prairie City High School. And he's like, I think we should get a sponsorship from Pioneer, and we could just name the mascot the Pioneers. And I'm like, that's a pretty good idea. Sponsorship for a high school mascot. And I'm like, you know what? I've got I didn't want to say better idea. I've got another idea. What's this area known for? Farming. It's agriculture, just like Pioneers, an ag company. But Pioneers, it's like that's not like a brand. Like you call yourself the Pioneers. You don't think of Pioneer. When you think of Pioneer, do you think of Pioneer Seed Company? No, you think of the 1800s. But what if you called yourself the Bushnell West Prairie Farm Kings? Because minor league baseball, that's what they do. They come up with these goofy names. Not saying Farm King is a goofy name, but if it was a school mascot, it's goofy. The Farm Kings. I even called Rick, and I'm like, Rick, I've got an idea. Sponsor Bushnell West Prairie High School. You do whatever. I'm not going to talk. You talk to them about finances, but this is my idea. Bushnell West Prairie Farm Kings. They use your logo as the school mascot, and you get all of this. It's going to go viral because we're in the internet age at this point. This is probably 2006, 2007, somewhere in that area of time. This is gonna hit all the news servers. You're going to get national attention on Farm King sponsoring a school mascot. And he shut it down right away. He's like, nope, don't want to do it. What? I understand from a business point why he didn't want to do it. But still, oh my God, that could have been so cool. And I don't think because Farm King wasn't just Bushnell West Prairie. Like Farm King served the entire region. So, and again, it goes down to like, we don't want to hurt Macomb's feelings. We don't want to hurt South Fulton's feelings. We don't want to hurt Monmouth's feelings because we sponsor Bushnell and West Prairie. I get it, but at the end of the day, oh my God, how cool would that have been? The Bushnell West Prairie Farm King sponsored by Farm King. I thought it was a great idea. Rick didn't. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Come on, man. Anyway, moving on. It's Monday. The coffee is hot. And the week, it's back to school week. Oh, man. That feeling really hits so much for summer. I was just thinking about that this morning. I looked disappointingly out the window, not because it's cloudy and overcast, but because that back to school smell is in the air. And it's just nasty. I don't like it. But I think as Zach pointed out in the chat a few days ago, normally I'm not upset about the end of summer. It's just another season. Like, it's like, I'm in my basement shipping and listing and shipping and listing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what season it is. I'm shipping and listing through rain, sleet, snow, sun, rain. I said that. Heat, cold. But I haven't had a summer. Like just mentioned, I haven't been to a baseball game. Well, I haven't been to a Major League Baseball game. I have gone to 2 minor league games this summer. Down in Beloit to see the South Bend Cubs. But I haven't been to Wrigley. That's got to change real fast. Got to get to Wrigley. I'm getting to Club 400. But I haven't, I did the National. I did 801 Fun Days. That's been my summer. That's been my summer. My freaking glasses and I didn't clean off my glasses this morning. They're all dusty and dirty. AA cards in the house. Good morning. The secret is there is no secret. But I'm going to tell you, it's a little common sense, and I'm going to share what that common sense actually is. That'll help. What AA says here, just have a store full of Ohtani rookie autos and your sales will be amazing. That'll help. But there is an ingredient. Yeah, that works. And you can do that. You can go out if you can get the right prices. It's easier said than done, right? What's the secret to losing weight? It's no secret. Burn more calories than you take in. But why is America fat? Because we don't want to do that. We want to order pizza and drink Bud Light. I'm fat. I could lose weight, but I don't want to. And a lot of people sell on eBay could make more money, but they don't want to. And it doesn't have to be Ohtani rookie autos at 60% comps, by the way. It doesn't have to be that. You could go digging through a bargain box and find it as I did. Buy them in bulk, get 40 cents. Buy them for 40 cents. It's actually pretty easy. Now, you say, well, yeah, but you had to go to the National and you had to spend all this money. It doesn't have to be that way. You can go to your local card show. Now, if you live in Montana, it might be a little difficult to source cards. However, there are people that do full-time eBay arbitrage. And what I mean by that is they buy, and usually guess what they're buying? I know some people are fans of auctions. If you're a seller, they buy cards at auction on eBay and put them in their eBay store at Buy It Now and make profit and make a lot of money. There's a lot of ways. There's no one way to make money in cards. There's many ways to do it. Now, I do this full time now. I make a living selling baseball cards, and usually I'm sourcing and I'm pulling cards. This box, these are about to go on my eBay store. This Tony Gwynn Throwback Thursday. I bought this for 40 cents. And this will sell for probably at least $5. I'm going to say I'm probably going to put $5 on it. And it'll probably sell. And then there's some smaller ones like a Topps Pro Debut Carlos Correa. This is probably $250, $3. Same with Trevor Story, probably $250. Russell Wilson, Bowman Chrome. This is a $5 card. Derek Jeter. This is probably a $250, $3 card. And you're like, well, yeah, but you have to do, yeah. And I get there's a lot of poo-pooers. And if you're poo-pooing that method, then find another method or just don't do it. That's not the secret that I'm going to share today, but that's kind of how you do it. And it takes bulk. And if there's a lot of other influences, I don't have kids. I don't have other hobbies. I don't have distractions taking me away from my card room. I don't need to go golf. I'm not out on a boat every weekend. I don't ski. I don't hunt. I don't fish. I look at baseball cards and watch TV and eat pizza and drink beer. That's what I do. And I'm okay with it. So if you have a lot of distractions, look at my July was insane. My July sales, now part of it was to do with that eBay algorithm that screwed up. My sales would have been higher had that not been, effed us up so much. But my sales still in the month of July would have likely been the lowest of the year just because I had so many distractions. I was gone for 4 days at a wedding. I was gone for 5 days at the National. I had distractions almost every single day. I moved into a new house. So there were a lot of distractions in the month of July. I went in like, yeah, you guys aren't going to want to watch me in July. And I think most of you didn't. And thank you for that. And I took probably 2 weeks off doing the show. Anyway, moving on. What's Max say? Max says, I must not have heard that correctly. Did you say Ramsey was a financial genius? One of my most hated names in finance, put him up there with Madoff. He's a financial genius because he follows common sense. Now, like what Dave Ramsey says is like, no shit. Like, it's kind of like, how do you lose weight? In my adult life, there's been times where I've cut a lot of weight. And guess how I did it? It's not like this big secret. Well, I worked out more and I ate less and I didn't consume sugar. Still drank beer, but I cut everything else out. And it's really that easy, but we don't want to do it. Would I like to lose weight? Yes. Do I choose to? No. Do I know how to? Yes. It's same with how do you, and Dave Ramsey actually, he's a millionaire. Maybe he's not. Well, he is a financial genius. He is a financial genius. What he relays to us common folk is basically just common sense. Pay off your bills. Start a nest egg. Stop spending money. Eat peanut butter and jelly and ramen. Don't go out to eat. Like, no shit. Duh. But to us, it's like, oh, I never thought of that. That's genius. But he is a financial genius. I mean, if Dave Ramsey wasn't a financial genius, where would he be? He'd be sitting in his basement selling baseball cards. That's where he'd be. Josh Williams, what's happening? Up next, trading cards. Can I get your thoughts on this? Went to ship a PWE that was under 1 ounce. It was just 3 cards in a card saver in a bag wrapped in paper. The PO said I owed 40 cents extra due to it being rigid. Yes, you're going to run into this. The more volume you sell, the more times you're going to run into this. I run into this, and it's not very common, but every once in a while I run into it. And basically, it could be the thickness, but 3 cards in a card saver is probably not going to cause by definition of the USPS should not cause it. Here's my typically my simple solving of this issue. Take it to another post office. Take it to a post office box. In fact, I've ran into issues at my local post office. And the first time I dropped envelopes, dropped PWEs off at that post office, a whole stack of them were returned for 40 cents or whatever it was at that time a few years ago, 35, whatever. And it was just a Post-it note. These all need non-machinable stamps added to them. You know what I did? I took off that Post-it note, threw it in the trash, took off the rubber band, threw it in the trash, and I took those envelopes as is, and I walked to the bottom of my driveway. I opened my mailbox, and I put them in. My mailman came around the next day, took them out of the box, and shipped them, and they all were delivered successfully. And then, you know what I did after that? I started having too many. This is, before I did this full time, I started having more and more PWEs. And then I'm like, well, they don't fit in my mailbox anymore. So guess where I took them? I took them across the street from the post office that says, oh, no, you need non-machinable. And I put them in the blue box outside that same post office. And guess what? 3 years later, they still go through successfully. So that's how I solve the problem. Just take it to another box, another post office. Now, that doesn't always work. Sometimes they still end up in the same hands of somebody that is going to be an asshole. So that's my thought. That's my thought. Because I do three cards in a card. Like I do that because I'll do up to 12 cards in 4 card savers. So 3 cards per card saver. And then I do 3 ounces because it's like 2.2. I think 12 cards, 4 card savers, and a piece of paper is, I believe, inside the envelope is 2.2 ounces. So I go 3 ounces for $1.11. And they usually get sent successfully. So that's how I solve that problem. Card Hobbyist, what's up? Good morning. Uncle Rich is here. We had more likes yesterday with the first 20 than we do right now. Hit that like button. Make Rich happy. Subscribe to the channel and all that stuff. Subscribe to hear the daily musings as he approaches 1,000 episodes or a real Midwestern kid. Yeah, where are we at? 944. So we're 56 episodes away. So that's roughly 2 months, September, October. So yeah, probably around October 10th. I'm going to say October 10th because there's going to be a few days we're going to miss. We're going to miss a day, 2 days, 3 days in August because there's going to be a day where I'm at Club 400. That's 2 Fridays, August 18th, I think. And then that Sunday we're going to miss because I'll be doing the Janesville Card Show in Janesville on August 20th. Saturday, August 26th is the Madison Card Show on John Nolan Drive. Take a drink. Let's see. And then we go into September. There's going to be a day in September where I go back to Club 400. I got to get a Cubs game in at some point. We've got the September Madison Card Show. I'm not sure if there's a Rockford or Janesville show in September or not. I got to look at their schedule. So there's like 5 or 6 days, maybe 7 days. And there could be some potential hiccups when some of these contractors come back and hopefully finish this damn house. Let's see. Ramsey's basic motto of don't spend money unless you have it is good solid. It is. And most of us don't follow it. Most of us don't follow it. The rest is what makes him so either loved or hated. That's true. That's very true. George in the house. Good evening to you. Flawed Thinker is here. What's up? Good morning. Max thinks Ramsey sucks. He gives everyone advice that most people cannot handle. Debt isn't a bad thing. If you can avoid it, sure, but 99% of the country cannot. It's kind of like fat. There's good fat, there's bad fat. There's good debt, there's bad debt. There's good debt, there's bad debt. Dan is house and dog sitting. 2 dogs the next 11 days. Very cool. What kind of dog? We have a co-op supermarket that I call the Potato King because the potatoes are always blighted. Let's see. Tracy loves Dave Ramsey. See, it's a love-hate in this chat room alone. Kyle's in the house. What's up, Kyle? Good morning to you. Robert's got a couple quick questions, if I may. Number one, should I be categorizing my listings on eBay? I'll tackle that one first. If you want, you can. And so I used to, and I don't anymore, and here's why. I haven't figured of a good way to categorize. It's kind of like categorizing within eBay is a lot like categorizing your bargain boxes at a card show. Because you may think, I'm going to categorize them by team, and next thing you know, you're going to have 5 set builders come up and say, I need cards 116, 111, and 44 for the 1982 Donruss set. It's like, well, they're sorted by team, so if you know the team, you can go through. Or you do it by years, and they're like, oh, I don't want to sort through all these cards to find Cubs cards. And then what I found is about half of the bargain box diggers, they're not looking for anything specific. Actually, it's probably more than 50 people that dig through my boxes, and it's probably because some people are looking for certain teams, players, sets. They don't want to dig for a couple hours. But so let's say half, 50% of people are digging for bargains. They're doing exactly what this box is, what I did at the National. Let's find some cards that I can flip, buy them for 25, 40, 50 cents, and flip them for $3 on eBay. That's what I see a lot of people do. So I don't categorize, because how do you categorize? Do you categorize it by 2019 Bowman? You categorize by team. My thought is categorizing just takes extra time that I don't want to spend on. And I don't think there's much reward in that. A few people might use it, think it's handy. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to your eBay store and I want Cubs, guess what I can do? Instead of just finding your category for Cubs, it's faster for me to type Cubs in the search, and hopefully you have your title, the team name. And that's why I strive to get team names into all of my listings, because as a team collector, I know there's a lot of team collectors out there, and I want to make sure I'm hitting that target. Obviously, if I'm listing 1978 tops, I want to have 1978 tops. If set builders come in, I'm looking for 78 tops. They type in 1978 tops in the search, and boom, all the 1978 tops listings are there. So my advice, don't waste your time. I know some people do it. Some people would advise to do it. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So I would say don't waste your time on categorizing your eBay store. Number 2, is it okay to try different pricing strategies? 100%. And in fact, I've done it and continue to do it. I'm doing it right now, in fact. We saw another postage increase on stamps, another 3 cents. Now, I built in, when I had $1.50 as my floor price in my eBay store and buy it now listings, that was built in to sustain a couple stamp increases. We know there's going to be a price increase on stamps every year, and sometimes, and what it's become now, twice a year. So we know that's going to happen. So now, but I don't want to adjust my pricing every 6 months. So I look ahead. It's like, I know there's probably going to be another 3 cent increase in January, followed by another one in July. So let's just build in so I don't have to adjust my pricing for another 1.5 years or 2 years. So I went from $1.50. I'm tinkering. I am trying different strategies based on what I'm listing. Some I just increase at a dime. Like if it's commons from 1978 tops, which I listed a lot of last week, 79 tops, it's going to $1.60. If it's more of the common stuff, it's $1.60. If it's a rookie, I was listing Tom Glavine rookies, $1.50 free shipping. And I'm like, I think it's $1.50 card. I don't think people would spend $1.75 on this card. Guess what? They do. I sold an 88 Topps Tom Glavine rookie over the weekend, $1.75. So now I know, and somebody had asked me last week, what do you think of your pricing strategy, increasing the pricing? I'd say it's been a success. And a lot of times, even on those $1.60, I can go to $1.50 and my profit margin's still 30, 35 cents, all things considered. So I can still get $1.50 for mini cards when I send offers $1.50, right? Like, yep, $1.50. I've got a bunch of shipments. I'm not going to let it go for less than this. So I think it's definitely okay to try different pricing strategies. It also gives you an idea, like I never would have thought, like Tom Glavine, not that I never would have thought, never say never, but it's like, no, I don't think anybody would buy a Tom Glavine for more than $1.50. I was wrong. Somebody bought one for $1.75 this weekend. Now, I'm not saying go buy 75 to 100 Tom Glavine rookies at $0.25 a pop to make a small margin, because it's a lot of these cards are going to be trickle. Like I just happened to get lucky and I listed it last week and it sold within a couple days. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it might sit in my eBay store for months or years in some cases. Flawed Thinker says, back to school for me means back to coaching baseball. I love it. There you go. See? And I think we all I have a lot of friends that are in football, coaching football. They love the fall because they are coaching football. People love Friday Night Lights. I used to. Now I'm not, I'm not in radio. I'm not covering high school athletics anymore. So it's just cold and things are dying. That's what fall means to me now. Although I get to wear hoodies outside, that's I love hoodies. It's like I don't have to, like when it's a couple of weeks ago where it was 95 degrees, I'm wearing a hoodie in the basement, and then I have to, I have to strategize what t-shirt I wear. It's like, okay, I want to wear a t-shirt that I can just take my hoodie off and I can go out in public in, not like a ratty pit stained t-shirt. Have to strategize. Don't have to strategize. No, it's nice enough I can just go walk the dog in a hoodie. Cooter's in the house. Good morning. The wife must be returning as the clutter is disappearing from behind you. Well, she's still gone for like another week. I don't think she gets back until next Tuesday. But there's a lot of clutter down here, and I'm trying. I'm trying. Yes, there's still. I don't know if you can see it. There's still a lot of. Well, you might not be able to see it because your message is there. Yeah, you can't really. There's a lot of clutter down here. I've got a couple small boxes. Got a 5-row. I've got piles of cards. I've got piles of garbage. I've got piles of penny sleeves and top loaders. So I still have a week. I was told that in the card room, there's still I ran out of shelf space. I have that many cards. I ran out of shelf space. The cards have to be off the floor. So I've been cleaning up the other room, the eBay store room, because I have 2 big shelves there that ideally, once I get things in order, once I purge some of this bulk, I will have a super organized assembly line of cards. So I have a shelf, one of those big wire shelves as you walk from the garage into the eBay store right there. And that's basically, if I buy a Goodwill pallet, I'll take it in and I'll put it all on that shelf, and that's to be sorted. I have 2 sorting tables that are filled with shit right now. So those will be my sorting tables. So it's right there. And then what I sort, what's going to go in my eBay store on the other side of the room over where that door is, there's another big wire shelf, and that's upcoming eBay store inventory. So I can bring it in here. This is my listing room. And so it's kind of an assembly line. And the stuff that doesn't go to the eBay store will get put onto the shelves in the card room, and which will eventually get sorted out to be bulked out. So that's how things are going to work. It's just I'm still trying to get there. So I'm working on that. Flipping sports guy in the house. Secret to sales is to have what the buyer at the time wants. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. So the key is to get that stuff. The key is to get that stuff and get it in your eBay store. At the gym right now, working off yesterday's birthday meal. Good for you. Good for you. I work off yesterday's birthday meal by doing it again the next day. Zach and Porter in the house. Flipping sports guy says, my July started off great, way up till the impressions and views went nuts mid-month. I think my July started off okay, but I had I went weeks without listing any new inventory. July was a piss away month for me, for my eBay store, because I just didn't have the time to devote to it. I did list and this is how I knew that it wasn't that wasn't the reason my eBay sales and impressions and all that went wonky in mid-July, because right before that I had listed 1,000 items in my store. Some good stuff, some commons, but typically when I'll list 1,000 items, I see some movement, I see some sales, and I didn't. And those impressions it's okay, I added 1,000 new items and my impressions dropped 30%. What the hell's going on? Shane Koopman's in the house. What's up? Good morning. Flawed Thinker says, this weekend I joined a paid Discord group that is just for buying, selling, trading of sports cards. It's actually pretty cool, but most people just do football, basketball, which isn't for me. I've never got into, and I know a lot of people are into Discord on buy, sell, trade, and card tips, and there's all kinds. I'm in Discord for fantasy baseball, and I think we created an eBay Discord that nobody uses. So, but we do use my fantasy baseball league instead of tech, because people were complaining. Guys that actually work real jobs were complaining after work I've got to go through 75 text messages. So it's okay, we're going to take it to Discord. But I've never done a card Discord, and I just really don't have the desire to join one. Max says he's a content genius. Nothing he does or says is past common sense. He preys on simple minds. I will agree with that. I will agree with that. That's kind of his thing. It's kind of his. He's kind of like a snake oil salesman in a way. Gamble Discord. And I think Discord gets a bad rap. There's good Discord groups. Like I said, I use Discord for fantasy baseball, and there's no gambling, no, weird stuff going on. It's just a good place to, do our trades, talk about Tim Anderson getting knocked out by Jose Ramirez and all that stuff. And there are card Discords that are the same way. It's not all I think it gets a bad rap because of some of what we see. Card Hobbyist says October Mallrats. If you know, you know. That's one of my favorite movies, and I don't understand that reference. I take my Mallrats card away. The post office is postal. There you go. What's up, Brian? One is a dachshund and the other is a mutt. Very cool. Very cool. Eric Bailey in the house. Bo, is promoted listings worth it? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to do a video because I get asked this constantly. Yes, 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 yes. Promoted listings. Yes, do it. Do you use the basic or advanced, and at what percent do you have your set? I use dynamic, which is base. Advanced, I don't get into that. I just do basic, dynamic, and I cap it at 10%. Now, the higher percentage you set it at, the more impressions you're going to get. If you do 2%, you're going to see a boost over 0%. If you do 5%, you're going to see a bigger boost. If you do 10%, you're going to see an even bigger boost. If you do 15, so on and so forth. So yes, definitely. It is totally worth it. Over the last couple of years, I've shared some of my graphs showing, okay, this is without promotion. This is with promotion. And yes, it does lead to sales. It's kind of the classic sales funnel. In sales, especially if you're in cold calling, the more calls you make leads to more sales. Now, you're going to get told more no, but you make 100 cold calls a day, you may get one solid lead. You make 200 calls, you may get 2 or 3. See how that works? It's kind of the same with promoted listings. You do 2%, you might get something. 5%, you might get something. 10%, you might get more. But yes, it is totally worth it. 100%. Don't promote at 100%, but it's 100% worth it. I do dynamic, which ranges anywhere between, I think the base is kind of like 3.5%. That's the lowest I usually see, all the way up to 10%. Flawed Thinker says to the Flipping Sports Guy, yes, it's been pretty cool. Not a fan of paying money to be in the Discord, but I haven't seen prices that are unreasonable at all, and it's all card talk and nothing else. Yeah, and I've seen like Discord, depending on the Discord group, I've seen like $5 a month. I've seen $15 a month. Flipping Sports Guy says that's pretty cool. If I was buying and selling mid and up cards, I'd join, but not paying for the chat. Yeah, and like for me, like if I was into like the investment game, the prospecting game, I'd probably be more inclined. Like, I mean, we pay, if you're prospecting, you're likely paying some service, whether it's a subscription to Baseball America, Baseball Prospectus. I mean, the serious prospectors are paying money for that information. And that's the same with Discord. But I'm buying 50-cent cards and 25-cent cards. And it's just, I mean, I'm sure there are Discord groups, forums and other stuff, but yeah, I don't see a need, but I think there's just because I don't see a value in it doesn't mean, because, we all do something different within our hobby. Ziggy, no, cheers. I'll drink to that. What's happening? Happy Monday. Flipping Sports Guy says, I love coaching football, but still hate the fall. Brian Dean, good morning to you. Flawed Thinker says, I will say it's awesome to see how fast a deal can be made with no haggling. I will see how it goes throughout the month. Flipping Sports Guy says, Bo, just be like the kids today and wear a hoodie all summer. I do see that. I see that sometimes. Hoodies and shorts. Some people say, why would you wear hoodies and shorts? Because it's comfortable. I love hoodies and shorts. That's the only thing I like about fall. I do like the mix I enjoy football. So I guess I can't say wearing shorts and a hoodie is the only thing I like about fall, but I like wearing shorts and a hoodie. And when people say that, it's like, well, it's no different than wearing pants and a t-shirt, right? It's just the opposite. What's wrong with wearing a hoodie and shorts? I don't understand why people think that's strange. It's strange to me that they think that's strange. Give me all the fall in the world. These effing 110-degree heat index days for the last 2 weeks with nights still in the upper 80s suck. We've had a nice cool down. It's actually last night I took a break from shipping and listing and shipping, and I sat on the deck last night for about an hour and I took a break by listing some cards on eBay. That's what my break was, but I did it outside, and it was comfortable. I had a hoodie on and shorts, and it was comfortable. Max thinks fall is great. You can breathe when you step outside. I kind of like not being able to breathe out. I love humidity. And Max, you're even further north. Like, we don't get like any humidity here in Wisconsin. Like, where is the humidity in Wisconsin? I go back home and it's just 3 hours south, and like in July, it's like night and day difference. Like you can't breathe. Like you can't breathe. It's like 99% humidity. And I miss it. I want more humidity here. We don't have it. We get like 5 days out of the entire year of like really humid weather. Let's see. Bink Scott says, does common players of 2023 Topps Chrome sell $1.60? I don't have any Topps Chrome. I would think now it might because it's still a fairly new product. It's been out for a week now. It probably will. It probably will. Let's see. Mark says, I'm 27 and trying Discord was the first time I felt, damn, I'm getting old. Oh, man. To be 27 again. Mark. Oh, you don't know what's ahead of you. You don't know what's ahead. Man, when I was 27. Where are we at? Max says, so the first time I saw that fight, I didn't see Anderson get knocked down. I think it's hilarious now. Yeah, I've watched it 100 times. It's fun because Tim Anderson's like glove off, let's go. And then they just he throws two like flailing punch. And then Jose Ramirez is just like, and then he connects. Have you heard the Cleveland Guardians radio broadcast? I think it's the radio broadcast. I can't remember the guy's name. Is it Campbell? Whatever his name was. It was an awesome call because he called it like a boxing fight. Oh, that was awesome. I see Bo did clean up before the wife got home. I still have a week. I have a week to mess this place up. The Mallrats reference is the flea market fortune teller scene. Aha! The third nipple. Now I remember. October. Okay. Now I get it. Okay. Thank you. Gamble Discord isn't gambling. It's the Justin Gamble and Crew YouTube page, their Discord. I have no idea who that is or what that is. See, that's what happens when you get old. No clue. Card Hobbyist says, if you wear a hoodie in the South during the summer, you run the risk of dying, right? Max says, yes, we do. We get plenty. No, we don't. Wisconsin humidity is nothing. Nothing. Go to Central Illinois. Or even better, go down to have you ever been to St. Louis in the summer? St. Louis in the summer is worse than Florida in the summer. St. Louis summers, oh my God, brutal. Card Hobbies, this is one thing I hate about humidity. Nothing like breaking into sweat after a hot shower. I can't take cold showers unless I'm like Tom Hamilton. Thank you, Matt. Royals 417, Tom Hamilton. Yeah. And when I grew up, like we didn't have central air. That was my dad made that choice. My dad made that choice to build a house without central air in freaking Illinois, where the humidity is 99% in July, August, and September. So I'd get out of the shower just freaking baking and be sweating for the next 2 hours. Shane says, I will ship all of the humidity in my town to you free of charge, including same-day shipping. Joe says it, Tom Hamilton. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's like we have no humidity in Wisconsin. Okay, we have some. We have very little humidity. But the further south you go, holy shit. The further south you go, it gets brutal. Got into a multi-year draft and Chrome team break the other day on a whim for $50 for the Padres. Ended up pulling a Jacob Marcy of 5 auto and a Soto Big Head about $250 together. Win. Nice. I think I picked up a Jacob Marcy Chrome auto. I'm pretty sure I just listed it yesterday. First Bowman Chrome auto. I think I listed it for $5. It might have sold. Anyway. Where we at? Mark says, have you checked out Atomic Habits yet? Going to stay on you about that. I have not. I apologize. Biscuits barking. I think landscapers are back. I have not. I do need to get out of the house. Guess what I didn't do yesterday? Leave the house. That's what I didn't do. I took Biscuit for a walk. That's it. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I'm going to turn into what was that one guy? Howard Hughes turned into a recluse. It's going to be me. Just me in my basement. Let's see. Max says, in comparison to down south, no, we don't, but we don't need any more than we get. And I don't think we get enough. Brian says, STL in the summer is bad. Too many Cardinals. Yeah. Combine the heat and humidity with all those Cardinal fans. It's brutal. I don't know if you want the humidity. It makes the penny sleeves stick to the shiny cards here in Omaha. Yeah. I mean, that's how my Earl Cunningham 1990 score autograph in blue Sharpie was ruined, because I grew up with no air conditioning, and I put it in a card saver without a penny sleeve. Because it was 1990. We didn't know any better, and I was 8. And I pulled it out, and that humidity ruined it, ripped like half of it off. I had to throw it away and search 15 years for another one. Sports card ripping teacher. And I guess the humidity would, when you have 3 million baseball cards in your basement, I'd have to spend even more money on dehumidifiers. I can't imagine, like in Florida, all that humidity. You've got to run like dehumidifiers all the time. I'm glad there were no rain delays for the Cubs on Saturday and Sunday. Yes. Let's see. Max says, I lived in STL for 7 months from April to September. I know what living in hell is like. And that's just from being around Cardinals fans. But I've been to Florida in June, been to Alabama in July. Being honest here, you couldn't pay me to live there. Yeah, I don't think I would want to live in any of those places either. But I also said the same thing about Wisconsin. I'm like, I'm not moving up there with all those cheeseheads. And guess where I'm at? Surrounded by cheeseheads. Nick in the house, what's up? NYC humidity is so tough, it's really draining, especially when you're outside playing sports in the summer. That's why. See, I don't get that because I don't play sports outside in the summer. See, that's why I'm fat. I don't play sports outside. So what is the secret to success for eBay in sales? I alluded to it earlier. My sales have been absolutely insane over the last 4 or 5 days. Why is that? Why all of a sudden are my eBay sales great? Well, I'm not listing a bunch of $1.50, $1.60 cards, $2 cards. I'm listing higher quality inventory. And you're like, well, you have to spend more money because, and that's kind of one of my angles in selling $1.50, $1.60, $1.75 cards is my cost of goods on those is basically nothing. 10 cards for a penny, 5 cards for a penny, sometimes a penny a card. So there's like no, financial barrier to entry on that stuff. However, your sell-through rate on those cards is extremely small. So you have to list thousands upon thousands upon thousands of cards just to move some. When you list quality inventory at quality prices, you're going to see, and I know, and that's common sense. It's like Dave Ramsey telling you, stop going out to eat, stop overspending, start eating ramen noodles, pay off your bills, save $1,000 and keep building. Oh yeah, duh. That's what it takes on eBay. List quality inventory at quality prices. And it's easier said than done. And now I can hear some of you out there. Yeah, but how? You have to work for it. It's not just going to come to you. You're not just going to go to a card show or a card shop and on the first try, you're not just going to pull out 100 cards and make $1,000 or $500 or whatever profit margin it is. You may get lucky on that first try. May take you a couple tries, but the more you do it, the more you realize. 3 years ago, 2019, before COVID, if you would have told me 1978 Topps Commons, let's find a Ken Clay, a 1978 Topps Ken Clay. I'm like, oh, that's I'm going to throw it in a quarter box and it's going to sit there and I'm just going to have to give it away for a penny. And then I learned there's a market. People will actually pay up to maybe $2 for a 1978 Topps Ken Clay. And the more you do it, and then you start like, I'm going to try this. And it's a lot of trial and error. Like, remember when Brian Taylor was super hot in the hobby in 1991 or 1992? Sometimes I have nostalgia. And if I have nostalgia, who else out there? I wasn't even a Yankees fan. I bet there's Yankees fans that want to buy a Brian Taylor. Boom! I probably had a half a penny in my Brian Taylors, and I sold 8 of them to one buyer. It was like a $10 to $15 sale on Brian Taylor. I was a big Jim McMahon fan. I'm like, I'd pay $1, maybe even $2 for a Jim McMahon card. Guess what? I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people out there that buy Jim McMahon cards for $2, $1.50, $2. A lot of trial and error. But sometimes it's not that easy. It's not like you can list a Ken Clay and it's going to sell tomorrow. You might have to sit on it. But if you list quality cards at quality prices, eBay sales will follow. And the more eBay sales you get, the more followers you get on eBay. They see your listings, and it's just a snowball effect. So that's the secret. And it's no secret. It's just common sense. Some of the stuff you're like, well, what are you listing? And a lot of this stuff, and again, I sourced this all from the National. And I know not everybody goes to the National or finds the deals, but, I didn't go to my first National until 2019. It's not the only place to source inventory. Where can you source inventory? Craigslist, Facebook. Yeah, sometimes it's few and far between. Card shows. Card shows are probably card shows are, without a doubt, my number one sourcing. Well, what if you don't have it? What if you live out west of the Mississippi River where we saw, 3 card shows this past weekend? What if you live out there in no man's land? What if you're in Montana? You're in Butte, Montana. How do you source? I don't know. Is there a card shop in Butte, Montana? Maybe, probably not. You might have to source it online, really, really comb those Facebook ads. You might have to drive a few hours to Cheyenne or whatever is closest. I don't know what's close to Butte, Montana. A lot of people arbitrage on eBay. They find deals on eBay. One thing you could do is buy lots. Look at auctions. Auctions suck if you're a seller. Auctions absolutely rock if you're a buyer. Look for auctions. Look for some auctions today. What's in your wheelhouse? Are you vintage? Are you modern? Are you into autographs, Bowman Chrome? Are you into prospecting? Find what you like, because you're going to be more passionate and you're going to be more driven by something you like. Why, despite daily reminders from Low Roller Scratcher that I should list more hockey and soccer, why don't I list more hockey and soccer? Because I don't like hockey and soccer. And therefore, I'm not going to put the same time into learning about hockey and soccer as I am with baseball, because I feel by continuing to learn more about the baseball card market and dabble in football, basketball, I think that's going to lead to more sales and personally, a happier life for me. If I'm dealing with hockey and soccer, that's work. And I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I want to sell baseball cards and have fun. Is it work? By definition, yes. But if you enjoy it, if you love what you do, and if you want to take a break and get out of the basement and go sit on the deck, have a beer, and what are you doing? You're listing cards on eBay? Is that work? I don't think so. Not in my definition of work. So that's the secret. That's the secret. Nick says, what? The Earl Cunningham was ruined. He doesn't sign. He does not sign. Very rarely does he sign. It took me 15 years to find another 1990 score Earl Cunningham signed in blue Sharpie. I had a couple people send me like 1990 Topps autographs of Earl Cunningham, but I never found one on a 1990 score in blue Sharpie until a couple of years ago. So now I have one in my collection. Actually, 2 in my collection. And on top of the humidity in Florida, you have the non-retirement community people. James says, eBay has been crazy. 2023 Topps Chrome been nuts. My Corbin Carroll Auto and others. So there you go. Somebody asked about 2023 Topps Chrome. It's been nuts. Daniel, what's happening? Any updates on putting Hobby Evolution onto a podcast platform? Need something to listen to on my morning commute. I looked into it, but I have to pay for it, and I don't want to pay for it. Whatever it was, you get like 5 hours, and it's like, that's nothing. So I haven't really put any more thought into it. Max says, most people don't want to put the work in. Is an eBay store easy? Hell yeah, but so is investing and making money in the market. That's very good. That's very true. That's very true. To somebody that's investing and trading on a daily basis in the stock market, they're like, it's easy. But they're passionate and they know about it. And a lot of people that are not passionate and know about cards, selling cards eBay, they're like, you can make money doing that? I'm like, really? Yeah, you can. Most people don't want to do the boring day-to-day stuff. Yeah. Do I enjoy shipping 200-300 items in a day? Not necessarily. Sometimes it's a nice, I can listen to a podcast or have some wrestling on in the background. But then it's like, oh my God, I've been shipping all morning. So there's tedious tasks that go along with it. 1978 Topps was HTF where I lived. No card shows. I guess my LCS might have value boxes, but that is so picked over. And so in my advice, always be looking. What was that? Glengarry, Glenn Ross. Always be closing. Always be looking. I'll find something on Facebook Marketplace. Not often, but every once in a while. And I'll post it on Twitter. And without pause, there's, I never find that. Are you looking? You can't just Facebook, and I've said this many times, Facebook Marketplace deals, when they pop up, like they're gone in a flash. Like you always have to be looking. And I think it was during COVID, maybe towards the end of, I was still working in the office. I've shared this story where somebody was selling like cases of junk wax for like $60 a case. It was like an elderly man, and he just wanted them gone. Like he had collected back in the early 90s and thought they were going to pay for his kids' college. Guess what? They did. And I was like on it right away. And I messaged, and it's like, I'm selling these for my dad. He's, call him at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So at 8:59, I left my desk at my office, went out in the hallway, and I called, and guess what? He was already on the phone because somebody beat me by 30 seconds. That's how fast you have to be to find some of these deals on Facebook Marketplace. I don't think Craigslist is hot. Everybody's doing Facebook Marketplace these days, but you always have to be looking. And you might think why your local card shop has value boxes, but they're always picked over because somebody's beating you to those boxes. Sometimes you gotta sweet talk so when do you put more cards in here? And he's probably, it just kind of depends. So you might have to go every day. Somebody's beating you to those boxes. So somebody is having success out of those boxes if they're picked over all the time. And you have to fight for those cards in those value boxes. Always be looking. Nick says, I just found a whole bunch of vintage football at a yard sale this weekend. I posted a bunch on my Twitter if people are interested. There you go. I love vintage football. Probably because I don't see as much vintage football as I do vintage baseball. A little bit of a learning curve since baseball is my wheelhouse. Same here. In fact, I'll list, and I don't know, like some of the rookie cards. Like I know the key, like for 70s football, like I know Tony Dorsett, Earl Campbell. Actually, I don't know if Earl Campbell had like an actual rookie card. Anyway, I know Walter Payton. I know Tony Dorsett. But when it comes to like Terry Bradshaw, and Larry Zonka, and Roger Staubach, it's like, I don't really know their rookie cards. So Sometimes I'll be like, oh, it's just a 73, whatever. And it's like, oh, crap, this is a $20 rookie card. Also, follow my eBay store because sometimes I don't comp and you might get a $20 card for $5. It happens all the time. Not all the time, but and there you go. People are getting those deals. And sometimes those sell within 5 minutes. You always got to be looking. Always got to be looking if you want to have success in finding those deals and getting those good flips. So that's what I had for today. The secret to more eBay sales, it's not a secret. It's just common sense. List quality items at quality prices. Why have my eBay sales been soaring the last few days? It's because I've been putting quality cards in at quality prices. Am I selling for under comps on some of the? Absolutely. But I can afford to do that because my buy-in was so low. You know, this card might be comping at $9, $10. I sell it for $5. Did I leave money on the table? No, because I paid 75 cents for it. James says, and I agree and disagree at the same time because crap is subjective. 1978 Topps Ken Clay common, that might be crap to you or I, but it still sells. And I sell what to me is crap all the time, daily. In fact, let's go to my eBay store. And I can tell you that probably in the last 6 hours, I've sold some crap. And yeah, Henry says, what's crap? It's subjective. My crap is not your crap. So last couple were some 2020, the most recent sale, 2021 Topps Heritage Minor League, Bryce Ball, who is not even in baseball right now. He was released by the Cubs. I don't think he was signed by anybody, but the Cubs released him about a month ago. That's my most recent sale. It's common. I sold a 1979 Topps Art Howe, a 1978 Topps Dave Winfield. He's a superstar, so that's a little different. I sold two Bill Madlock cards, a 78 Topps and an 82 Topps, both commons. So crap does sell. You can list crap and you can sell it. Trent says, thanks for the good content. Hey, you bet, anytime. So that's my thought. This guy keeps offering me. You know what? $8. That's my price. Counter. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit my eBay store up. 99centcards.com. Link also in the description. We'll go back live tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.